All right, so today I'm working on the front right brake of the 68 Camaro. First, I'm going to start with the star key. I put a little anti-seize in here, and then I also put it on the threads, this piece here. And I just go ahead and usually just thread it all the way in. Just so you know, on the right-hand side, it is a reverse thread. So you're going to go lefty. Yeah, I'll get this set up and I'll show you how I do that on the brake pads. I kind of got to go off camera here for a second, but I'll show you what I do. On the bottom of the brake pads on the right hand side, we're going to have the red spring. So I'll get the brake pads connected with the star adjuster, and I'll show you what that looks like before I get it onto the rotor here. So let me go ahead and do that. When you get it set up though, the star will be towards the left or facing the rear, and that way the springs and everything will set in place the way you need it to. Alright, put these back up. Alright, so now I kind of have it set in there like this. And I usually get mine set up to where the bottom spring and the star adjuster key is on the brake pads themselves first. And what I'll do is I'll swing it around the bottom, and I'm going to put them on these pins. Make sure you got your pins in ahead of time. They're kind of a pain to put in if you don't. And that'll just sit like that for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the right side since it's a little bit closer to me. And to do that, you're gonna need the green spring. And the green one has an open end on this end and is slightly closed on this one. It's tapered here. And so that tapered end goes towards the brake rotor. And you'll need one of these pins. The pin will come in from the back side and out through here on the brake pad itself. And then you're also gonna need one of these caps. And these caps here, we'll just go over, slide over that and close. I use a pair of needle nose vice grips because it's just so much easier to do it that way. And I'll go ahead and just clamp these on this. Try and give yourself a little bit of extra space on the cap here. And then I'll put that on there. And in order to do this, you kind of got to hold the back of the pin here too. So it's best if you get that hole lined up on the pin ahead of time, because it just makes it easier to do this part, which is to turn it in there like that. And now we've got the right one set on there, the cap's on there. Sometimes these green springs, or this right hand side, will come with a washer. Mine didn't, so here we are. But this right side is pinned in. We also got the star key and the red spring down here below. Now we'll move over to the left hand side. On the left-hand side, you're going to need the self-adjusting lever. It's actually like three pieces. It's the spring, this big piece here, and then there's a little lever here. You'll need that to go on the right-hand side. And what we'll do is get that set up here, maybe. Get that set up. And just like the other one, we're going to put a pin through the back, and that'll come out there on the front. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second so I can show you. This side will have a cap, and the cap's got the little piece jutting out here. That'll go through that lever, through the brake shoe, and then you'll have a yellow spring that sits on top of that. And so what I will try to do is kind of push this into here first. Sometimes they don't go in super tight, sometimes they do. Yeah, it's the same on both sides, so I'll just leave it like that. And then you're also going to need, the cap again, which will go over that pin, just like we did on the right-hand side. So I'll go ahead and try and get this set in there. Sometimes it takes a bit of work, especially if you're doing this one-handed. Try and get everything lined up. There we go. Put that cap. we go. I got it on both. There is no tapered end on this left spring, and so you can kind of just get it set up. This is why the vice grips are also helpful, because I'm holding everything. I can pick it up with this end here, try and get it lined up with that pin. So I'm kind of lined up here with the opening of this cap, and then we push in and do a 90-degree turn. Make sure that's seated in there well. We're good. So now that's the yellow spring installed, and that's your self-adjusting lever, and it'll catch on that start key a little bit later. On the self-adjusting lever, I don't have a new one for this, but I've got, it's usually like a red or an orange colored spring, and that just goes on this little piece here. And so what I do is I'll just slide it in. It just slides in like that, pops up, and you're done. So then there's two springs left. There's the white one and there's the blue one. And the white one is going to go on the left side over here, and that one goes first. And it'll catch this lever here on the self-adjusting lever. There's a little piece here, and it'll catch that part. And then, actually, no, I'm sorry. This doesn't catch that part. This one will be just on here going up to this part here. And so what we'll do is put it in like this, and then it'll go up to this pin here. And for this, I use a tool. I have a drum brake tool. You can use a screwdriver. You can use a number of things to do it, but I just happen to have the tool. So you can buy them on Amazon and stuff too as well. But the reason this tool is nice, it's got a little groove. I don't know if you can see that, but right here, and that'll ride right on the lip of this post here, and then you can kind of lever it over. I'm gonna try and do this left-handed, but I'm not left-handed, so this might not go as well as I hope, but we're gonna try it. Maybe. We're gonna put this on. This little piece here connects to your self-adjusting lever, and it's gonna come up and around this post here. And so again, like I did on the other side, I kind of move this off a little bit if I can, so that I can kind of pry that on there. I'll use this tool, which is the drum brake tool, to kind of do this as well, but it kind of helps me get it moved over. And then what I'll do is I take this, the white spring will go here on the left-hand side, and it'll connect to this piece of that little lever we just installed there. There's a little hook there. And so I'll drop that in the upper right-hand side here, and then just pry this over like that. And then we'll do the last one, which is the blue spring. And the blue spring is going to go from this side over and around in front of that lever that we put in there. And so we'll go like this. And I'll take this up and over like that. Kind of hit that in place because you want it riding on that post correctly. Now it looks like we're good. And yeah, that's about it. The last thing is there is a rubber piece here, and this will go on the drain hole of your drum brake cover. It's actually, I'm sorry, the rotor cover, which has the inside grooves for the brake pads to hit. I just have it on the other side of the vehicle right now, but I'll put that in a little bit. It's just a rubber oval. Some kits come with this, some don't, so just kind of depends on where you get it, but that's what I'll put there. And then we should be good to go to get the wheel back on and get this thing lowered down. So thanks for watching. So the next thing we're gonna do